This article is brought to us by Business Insider, and it's the Google. First of all, what is Google Brain? We have to look up what is Google Brain. But the Google Brain co-founder or Google Brain founder, Andrew Ng. How would you say? Okay, how would you pronounce Ng? There's no vowels in there, so I don't know how to say it. Says everyone should still learn to code, but not the old way. All right. So before we even jump into that, what is Google Brain? What is Google Brain? Google Brain was an artificial intelligence research team within Google focused on deep learning and making machines more intelligent. Formed in 2011, the team developed foundational research tools like TensorFlow, I've heard of that, machine learning library, and contributed AI advancements to many Google products, including Google Assistant. The Google Brain team has since been integrated into the larger Google AI research division. Research and development, key innovations, TensorFlow, which was open source to allow public to use neural networks. Applications, they worked on Google Assistant. Organizational change, the original Google Brain team has now been absorbed into the broader Google AI research division, which continues its mission to advance AI research and development. All right, so basically the person who found AI at Google, he is going to give us some insight into why we should still learn code, but not the old way. So this, I believe, is Andrew Ng. I'm not sure how to say it, but Andrew Ng, right? Says, so the TLDR, the skinny, Andrew Ng urged everyone to learn coding using AI-assisted vibe coding tools. AI-powered coding has lowered barriers to coding, he said. He joins tech leaders like NVIDIA and Klarna CEOs in touting vibe coding tools like Cursor. So I'll tell you this. Engineers currently, from my vantage point, they are not fans of AI. But our next break is going to get into something that is very, very scary. Yes, scary. And potentially dangerous and disruptive. Yep. So it says, all right, so basically everyone should learn to vibe code. So it's not even learning to code anymore. Everyone should learn to vibe code. I personally don't like the terminology of vibe coding because the word vibe, let me see if I'm right. Define vibe. Vibe, a person's emotional state or the atmosphere of a place. I have no idea what a vibraphone is. Verb, enjoy, dance to, or feel inspired by popular music. 2, transmit or give out, a feeling or atmosphere. I don't like vibe coding because to me, vibe should be, I guess it could be a lot of moody people giving off bad vibes. Okay, I guess it could be used in a negative sense, but the word vibe generally, it's a vibe. It generally goes for something positive. And I'm not saying that vibe coding is negative, but I think that there needs to be, I think to have properly developed applications with the help of AI, you need to put a lot more thought into how you're doing it. And I think it can be integrated into your workflow, but not quote unquote a vibe. You know what I mean? Anyways, it says the bar to coding is now lower than it ever has been. Andrew said in a talk at Snowflake's Build conference on Monday. People that code, be it CEOs and marketers, recruiters, not just software engineers, will really get more done than ones that don't. That is technically true. However, it might be a walking time bomb of code and software though. So you got to keep that in mind. Andrew is a Stanford professor and the founder of Google Brain. He now runs several AI-focused businesses. He added that it is a wonderful time for people to build something they're passionate about because they can be done in less time and at costs that are much lower than ever before. That is 100% true. The other day I listed all the different things that we're working on, and 2025, due to AI-assisted coding, has been revolutionary. And I'll say this. If you look at what I did from January to end of May compared to end of May to today, it is astronomically different, right? He suggested using AI-assisted coding, also called vibe coding. I hate that word. I hate that terminology. Don't code by hand. Don't do it the old way. I think you need a mix. I do think you need a mix. And here's the deal, right? If this is, oh, this is gonna be so bad coming from me. We're not done reading yet, but as of right now, if you don't code by hand and if you don't code by hand, you don't do it the old way, you're going to crash and burn because AI makes so many mistakes. And there are so many times I have to go back and refine and make it. To me, I think it is important that you still learn it and you still understand what the code is doing, able to break it down. I think that this is going to sound bad, but the Google Brain founder is giving terrible advice so far. Angie said that computer science majors are seeing an uptick in unemployment because universities haven't updated the curricula fast enough for AI coding. That is true. And I know somebody who is actually teaching a master's program in AI at a college down here. Says even I can't hire enough people that really know AI. That people are rebelling and protesting against AI. That's why I always tell you guys need to enhance your AI skill set because companies are particularly looking for people who are investing themselves in AI. And I always tell you, you should be spending 10 to 20 hours of your personal time a week to practice working on different AI tools, generate some images, build some software, do different stuff, prompt it, get better at it, solve problems, because that is what the leaders at companies are looking for. Even if the employees are trying to not do it, well, guess what? We've seen employee replacements over and over and over again. The house always wins, right? Angie joins a list of tech executives hyping vibe coding tools and how they're making software development more accessible, even for non-tech roles. Last month, Jensen Huang, that is the CEO of NVIDIA, name-checked 3 vibe coding startups in his list of 6 companies that he says will be part of the human digital workforce revolution. Future workforces in enterprise will be a combination of humans and digital humans. Some of them will be open AI based, and some of them will be Harvey based or open evidence or Cursor or Replit or Lovable, the NVIDIA CEO said in an interview with Citadel Securities. In a September podcast, Klarna CEO Sebastian Semiatkowski, said AI coding tools like Cursor have helped him build prototypes faster as someone with a non-technical background. Rather than disturbing my poor engineers and product people with what is a half good idea and half bad ideas, now I test it myself, he said. I come say, look, I've actually made this work. This is how it works. What do you think? Could we do it this way? In June, Business Insider reported that vibe coding is no longer a nice to have skill. Job listings from Visa, Replit, DoorDash, and a host of startups showed that companies explicitly required vibe coding experience or familiarity with AI code generators like Cursor and Bolt. Bruh. There you have it. So, me personally, I love using AI assisted coding tools. I'm not going to call it vibe coding. I love using AI assisted coding tools, but I think you also need to use it in the right manner. I honestly, this is my preference. And based on what we're doing, like if we're starting up a new project, then I'm just going to jump into a Kilo, spec kit, have it build everything out, and then I'm start going. But if I am making updates to something existing, I like to go into like a Gemini, maybe a Claude, maybe an OpenAI, and say, this is what I'm trying to do. This is my code. And then they give me a fix for the code. And I'm reading through all the reasoning, all the definitions, making specific line changes. Because a lot of times when you just say, I have this issue, go ahead and fix it, it will absolutely destroy your application. I think, because I am not on board with what the Google Brain co-founder Andrew NG said about forget learning how to code at all and just go for quote unquote vibe coding, because I've seen, number one, I've seen people have no idea what they're doing, destroy applications that engineers have taken the time to perfectly, like not perfectly, but like to get to work. It took like hours and hours and hours. And then someone comes in, they just put a prompt and it just blows everything out of the water. Bruh. And then I've also seen where you are trying to like get something to work, and it just, the back and forth and the cost that can be associated with it as well. So for me, I like to have more control. I like to use my own. I like Kilo because I can bring my own. I can control the cost, because if I use like a cursor, I'm using their API keys. They're giving me the limits. If I use a Lovable, they're giving me the limits, my credits limits, which I still use Lovable. I built some amazing things with Lovable, right? But I also like to use my own API keys to control the temperature, control the room, right? So that is everything. That is everything with that.
They think I sleep. They think I got a do not disturb sign. The console is always open. The chat is always live. 2 a.m., 2 p.m. It's all just time to work. Y'all see the product, we don't see the clock. Let's run it.
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Check the timestamps on the check, this ain't no 9 to 5. I'm pinging Gemini 4, I'm barely alive. But the mind is buzzing, got a new idea flowing. Sun is coming up and my ideas glowing. They see a new app, think it's overnight. They don't see the dark, just the shining light. They don't see the coffee cups, the bloodshot eyes, just the finished product and the clean UI. I am not the one, man, I am not the type to see a single issue and just let it hype me out of my focus. Now I zoom right in. This is dedication, this the will to
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Remember resume flow when we hit the launch. Had a bug in production, had to be staunch. Parse wasn't parsing, the PDF was skewed. Users in the comments, man, this app is rude. Most will wait till Monday, I was on it then. 1 a.m. just need a AI and a pen. Give me 5 scenarios for this data leak. Why's the API responding so damn weak? We hunted down that glitch, me and the assist. Found a broken promise in the try-catch list. Patched the back-end call, fixed the CSS. That's the no problem, too small kind of test. And the site is running clean, his mind is moving on to the next big scene. He's asking what's a feature, what's a better way to build. His cup is never full, it's just waiting to be filled. Yeah. That's the other level, we don't just maintain. We use the AI partner to evolve the brain. What's a new feature for the coaching now? How can eloquent give them better feedback? Give me 10 ideas for the content too. Make them innovative, make them new school. This ain't work-life balance, this is work-life blend. It's a partnership that's never gonna end. No limit on the vision, no cap on the work. From a tiny typo to a universe. Yeah, I built that. Built it from the ground up. Now we pouring wins in a brand new cup.
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream. And yeah, I built that.
Built it from the ground up. Now we pouring wins in a brand new cup.
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all. Fix it all. You'll never ever fall. watch him go.